those who are here, if you're new to my channel, my name is Kay. Aligning with Kay is my business that I own. I have worked with missing people since 2018. It's almost been 10 years. Holy cow, almost 10 years. I've helped many families with locating their loved one. And although it's not what I typically do on the regular anymore, I used to, that's what my business used to be surrounded by on my spare time. I do own my business, and it is for spiritual readings and services. And eventually, when I opened my business, I started doing missing person cases because that is what I was requested to do from my followers. I did have a YouTube channel where I had nothing but missing person cases, and not getting into too much detail, but there was a case that I covered around that same time that really upset certain people by exposing certain things. So I kind of got a lot of backlash for it, and at the time I was pregnant, so I felt it was best to delete my channel with the threats that I was given. And I just kind of started navigating to a different area with my business. You know, I took a different route. So since then, I have grown more confident, and although leery, I have created a new channel. Now this channel is my vlogs, it's just my personality. I'm navigating towards a different area in my life, which is just creating content, being an influencer. However, still from time to time, I will cover a missing person if I feel drawn to them. And this again is what I usually do on my spare time. I am not paid for these cases unless somebody directly reaches out to me and hires me to cover a case. And sometimes what I'll do, if I feel like it's too risky, I will do the case, but I will only set it as private, so only that person who hired me can view that video. In this case, I'm taking this upon myself. It was recommended from a client of mine, and you know, given that I haven't really covered missing people in a period of time publicly, I decided to go ahead and cover this case for free and see what we pick up on. Now, I just had to give that disclaimer, right? And I am going to give this one. I am a reader, which means that I go based off of my natural intuition, and I also use the tool of cards, tarot cards. However, I feel it's very important to know that these things are at your own discretion. Okay, and I have to say that for my channel, for my viewers, so we have a clear understanding. I do not claim to be somebody that I'm not. I can't sit here and put my hands like this and say I can for sure pinpoint their location. Although I have helped in some cases, helped find and locate missing people, it is at the viewer's discretion to advise. You know what I mean? You guys are here to watch. This is entertainment purposes only, and I put that so that way I don't get backlash again, because the last go round I covered hundreds of cases and we had no problems, and then once I covered the wrong case, I got threats, and my family was threatened, my children were threatened, and I took a step back. And so I want to be careful with what I do put out there and how I present myself when I do these things. How I receive my messages is through letters, numbers, information that will come to me. I connect with those who are living, and I connect with those who are deceased. When I connect with those who have passed on, my messages do come in different forms, which would be letters, numbers, feelings, audio. And when I say audio, it's not outwardly how I would talk to somebody who is still currently living. I can hear their voice. It's not the same thing. It's strictly information that'll come to your brain that you know is separate from your own. And that's how I connect with spirit. And it makes sense because they're not right in front of us to where we can hear them, you know? Feelings, you will see me pick up on certain things that they may have endured. They won't give me the same extent or altitude of it, but they give us the few little descriptions or feelings that we can relate to, and that we know, okay, I know what happened to them. I don't normally put these out there anymore when I do these videos, but again, I feel it's important for new viewers. You have to understand where I'm coming from. I'm not sitting here trying to pretend like I'm Teresa Caputo, okay? I do receive my messages similar to her, but she is a little bit more advanced, and I gotta say, she's a good psychic. I don't like using the term psychic. I say I'm a reader. I go off of my natural intuition and the messages that I receive through my spirit guides and spirit. What you take with this is what you will. And that's, I think, my disclaimer. So I appreciate you for watching this far. And we're going to go ahead and hop into this reading in just a moment. I have my Cuban sub here from Publix, and I'm hungry as heck. So I'm going to eat. I'll pause this video for a few minutes, and I will jump into this reading, and I'm going to talk with you along the way of what I'm picking up on. Again, there may be moments where in mediumship would be that we're channeling the person who has passed on. And believe it or not, most of us have this intuitive feeling. All of us are born with an intuition. Some are just stronger than others. And the main importance of being a reader is being aware of where your messages are coming from. We all have this ability. We just may not be aware that it's our loved ones connecting with us. So in this reading, you will see maybe some behavioral changes, some voice changes. You may notice me acting in certain ways that you normally wouldn't when you watch my channel or you watch my videos. That is when I am in mediumship mode. I can pull messages without being in mediumship mode, but what a medium is, for those who don't know, is we're channeling spirit, but we're also letting them take over. We're allowing them into our vessel, which is our temple, our body, and we're allowing them to explain what happened. And so you may see moments of that. That is very important for me to describe for you guys, because my old channel is no longer active. I deleted that. So that I had over 1 million viewers and a lot of subscribers, and you guys were already very familiar with how I worked. So being that I did make a new channel, and although it's not what my channel is all totally about, or my business is all totally about, when I do these kind of cases, I do want to describe in great detail what you're going to endure, what you're going to experience, and what you're going to see, because it's very important. And so that way we can depict what is me on average, which is K, and what I am channeling from our spirits. So without further ado, let me go eat my Cuban sandwich, and I will be right back. Okay, so I just got done eating my food, and I was very, very hungry. Okay. I'm looking over here, which is where my laptop is, and the only thing that I have on this kid is his photo and his name. His name is Samuel Bird. Let me write this down. Pen's here. And again, I kind of already given you the disclaimer and all of the things that you need to know about how I do my work. However, for those who are new watching me, I always like to use a pen and paper. The reason being is because I do have ADHD and I get distracted very easily. So I like to take notes during my reading. Spirit write, I do that too. I doodle around. Sometimes those things can be important. Sometimes they're just of my thoughts. So I want to make that very clear. Now, without further ado, we're going to get into it. Let me look this up really quick. 1 second. I just had it pulled up. I don't know why it got taken down. Okay, so the only thing literally that I know is my client sent me his photo and said there's a 14-year-old little boy who's missing. And 14, I mean, my God, he's just a teenager, you know? These are the cases that I have a hard time turning down. Although I don't like to discuss these topics because I have little ones myself. I have 4 kids. It's hard to turn this down, especially she invited me into the group. So I did get added, I think. I think I'm in the group. I'll double check later. But it's kind of one of those things where, like, you have kids, you know where moms are coming from, and you just want to help. So my intentions are pure, you guys, despite those haters who may be like, oh, you're just out here for money. Baby, I don't get paid for these. I do this on my own time. Shit. And I don't even have enough followers on my YouTube no more to where I'm not monetized on YouTube. I'm monetized on Facebook. I used to be monetized on YouTube before I made this new channel. So please cut the bullshit. I'm not paid for this. You know, this is out of the kindness of my heart, and this is the right thing to do. So without further ado, again, we're going to describe where he went missing from. So it says Samuel Bird's disappearance deemed criminal. This is on Google. I just put his disappearance just so we know what the general area that he went missing from and what's going on, you know. It says that he is presumed deceased and his death is believed to be criminal in nature. Investigators believe that Samuel was last seen on June 1st. Let me write that down. That is important. June 1st. 2025, so of this year, walking through the grounds of Holy Cross School near 151 Street and 104th Avenue, after which he attended the residence of a friend in the area of 150th Street and 106th Avenue, where he was last seen. That's important. When I do readings, that is very important. Where they were last seen, who were they last with. Although it's not required for my reading, it is good to know. It's good information to know. The police have conducted a search warrant. Oh, hold on. They have conducted a search warrant at this residence in September, and they believe that the suspect or suspects are involved in Samuel's disappearance and may have disposed of his body no more than 150 kilograms from Edmonton, I think, within a short time of his disappearance. The police are appealing to the public, particularly landowners, hunters, and outdoor enthusiasts, to be on the lookout for his remains. So that's all we really need to know. The other thing that I did pull up is his photo. Now, I do best with visuals, and this one kind of stuck out to me. 14. Jeez. Right now what I'm doing is I'm just looking through his gallery. I'm looking at a few photos. I do best with visuals. That is how I connect with individuals. So right now I'm looking at the one with him in a black t-shirt and a cross on his chest. It's a necklace. Close my laptop. I think that's all I need to see. Let me see. 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna get started, and just to let you know, again, I already given you what could happen in this reading. So let me doodle around. I will show you my notes too along the way. when I connect with him initially, I do get this feeling that is still very lively, although it is presumed that he is deceased. Definitely don't want to give any false hope to the family. If you do happen to see this, although when I get that liveliness, it could just mean that they haven't came to terms with their passing. So they are still here. It doesn't mean that they haven't been accepted into heaven or the afterlife. It just means that there's a lot of unfinished business. And in this case, I do believe that there is a lot of unfinished business. Now, I'm going to describe to you how I would my personal readings, okay? This is very important. Some of you guys may not think so, but this is something that if you listen to any of my readers or the people that I've done a reading for, my clients, they'll tell you I've went through the same thing with them. And I'm going to show this to you really quickly. Do you see this circle? I refer to this as the clock. You will see why this is important. This middle half when we reach up here, this is a positive area. But when we reach down here, you see the little stick man. When we reach down here, this would be problems. Somebody did something to me. You'll see why this is important throughout our reading. Right now we're at about 10 o'clock on this. See this little 0 that I put in? I consider these peepholes where I connect with them and we look at what they were dealing with before the passing, because this is very important when we're doing an investigation or looking into what caused their death, right? With like what they were dealing with before they passed is important. So I'm seeing that this is around the 10 o'clock, which is over here. And this would indicate that, you know, I was on my best behavior, although I was kind of rebellious. You know, that's rebellion in that area or that region. I noticed that when I was connecting with him, I seen that I was going from 10 o'clock to about 3 o'clock on the chart. And when I see 3 o'clock, this means that yes, I was rebellious, but I did have respect. I do know the value of family, and respect and loyalty is something that he did go by, or that he was taught. We're at 6 o'clock right now, which would be down here. And this area would mean, what did I do? How did I get myself into this position? And if you look at all 3 points, it makes a triangle. So down here is consciousness, regret, remorse, self-reflection. So there was something that he did feel that landed him in the position that he's in. Now, did he deserve this? Hell no. Nobody deserves this. But in this region, it would explain that maybe the crowd or the company that he kept or was around had certain regulations or rules. We see this with like gang members. We see this with groups of people who come up with their own rules. And I don't feel he was not a gang member at 14 years old, but the people that he may have been around seem to think that they were young thugs, put it that way. So they may have felt like they were superior, they knew certain things, or they were street wise, whatever. And although he wanted to honor that, he also honored his values and the things that he was raised off of from mom and the family, and didn't want to disrespect that. And so when we go down here, it's kind of like, you guys made me lower my standards. I believed in you, my trust was broken, and now I'm in this position. This is what I'm reading from him. I'm getting the ages 16, 17, and 19. So there were people that he was around that were a little bit older than him, who could have convinced him certain things, but I don't feel it was the cause of his death. I feel that this is his reflection. I feel like I'm starting to slur my words, so you will see mediumship happening. You may see me acting or talking in a different way. There is this deep breathing, and I feel like I can't catch my breath. So, I'm getting this smothering feeling, something that seems to be like, what did I do wrong? How can I make this right? Why are people out to get me or seeing me as something that I'm not? That's what I'm getting from him. And when we see this, again, some of these kids nowadays live outside of their means. They think that they are thugs, or maybe they are, who knows? But we don't get away with certain things, right? We don't get away with hurting somebody or causing fatality. The breathing is bothering me in my ribs. There's something on my left side of my ribs that is impactful. So he's showing me that he felt shortened of breath, and there was something with his ribs, either being shot or having a strong impact in this area that would have knocked the wind out of him. So just bear with me. Cause. That's what I'm looking into right now, and I'll talk you through this reading. I feel like I'm starting to channel a little bit more. I'm feeling kind of disoriented, and I'm going to talk you through this reading so you kind of understand what I was feeling or what he was feeling. The shortness of breath is still there. Sometimes this can represent smothering, again, being shot or internal bleeding, not being able to get a full breath. Stabbing, that could be it too. He's telling me that he struggled a bit before his passing. He's mentioning of being left to die, and really having a difficulty coming back to. So the breathing, hold on. I feel a little bit disoriented. There's something in his ribs. This could be internal bleeding. He's mentioning that he feels that he spoke on too much. I don't know if there was something that he witnessed or that he knew that maybe he had commentary on, or that he had shared with others. But there is that he's giving me that silencing signal, which would mean that every time I tried to express myself to other people, or I felt something they did was wrong, I feel that I was shut down. He's giving me a lot of yawning. Sometimes the yawning can represent passing away at nighttime. Other times it can represent what he experienced before he passed, like the nose and the breathing. Definitely something going on there. I don't want to take too much time on that because that's devastating, and especially for a teenager his age. So we're going to see what the cause was, is what I'm asking. And I'm asking to see what, where he could be. Sometimes that breathing could represent being near water. However, I did see a post that the police does feel that he's on land. The other thing could represent, especially with him feeling that he was left for dead, being buried alive, being buried without being fully deceased, or being suffocated. These are the feelings that he's giving me. There's a sheet that is coming to mind. There's mentioning of a water bottle. Waterboarding does also come to mind. He was disoriented. He does say that I couldn't even think straight. Like, I couldn't focus. There was something that was just like discombobulating. I'm gonna ask him his location. He's showing me this. It's like a oh, can you see it? It's a tree and a road right here. This would indicate that there is a lot of bush or a lot of trees, or like a wooded area. It has one road, but on the other side of the road, I don't know if I don't see any trees. I want to say it could be water or land. Something could have happened at the residence and they drove him to a location, because he mentions driving and being in a vehicle. Black or dark in color. Silver. He's mentioning of a silver car. It's not really dark, but I'm seeing something like a gray or a silver. He says there was 2 orange things, floats or balloons. You can't miss it. I don't know what he means by this. I feel that this is a landmark. He's bringing up berries. Sometimes this does represent a drug like oxycodone. Other times this could mean a bush that he's nearby. He's feeling drowsy, like he's giving me this very drowsy feeling. And if you see my eyes, I kind of feel like they're kind of lazy. So either being drugged or taking something with these individuals. He says that there was 2 and 3 people. All were male. Males. He mentions of somebody who was in a black shirt with a gold necklace or a gold plated necklace. I want to say they had on Nikes, or he brings up Nikes, black and white Nikes. $618 comes to mind. This could, he mentions of this being referring to a phone, like a phone number, area code, something like this. He mentions of drinking or having a drink, but he says that this isn't something that he was allowed to do or that he did on the regular. So he feels that he was taken advantage of, or somebody that could have drugged him. He says that he was slurring. And he says that he threw up. I threw up a few times. One of the times he did throw up in the vehicle. So if this vehicle was found, even if it was cleaned, it should have his DNA in it. It mentions of pockets and wallet. I'm getting the number 19 again, and I can't help but reference this to the friend that I was getting in the beginning of this video. And so this could be the friend that was above age or just turned 19 that could be responsible for it. He's not giving me a name, and I don't think that he will. Although I'm getting Jose or Hoses. Hoses, something like that. Who is this? He's bringing me back to the phone number. So there was somebody who called his phone that same night or day. Lebanon, something like that. This would be a street or a location. 10921 also comes to mind. I don't know how that's relevant just yet, but I'm getting that. Okay, so I'm finally kind of coming to, like, I'm out of the channeling. I'm still kind of there, but I'm kind of getting out of it. So I'm wow, that was heavy, because like I felt like I couldn't even, like, my eyes were kind of like this, like I felt a little bit nauseous, not nauseous, but like a heavy full feeling, confusion feeling, and also like there was something that was ingested for sure. He says, what really makes me mad is that my neighbors were involved in helping search or connected with my family. and some of them were involved. I don't know if he means actual neighbors, like the people next door, or like his friends, people who lived around the block, some people that he was close with that kind of connected with you guys. M-A-D. He says M-A-D, which would represent, or which does spell mad, but he says that this would be pertaining to initials. He says this is all of the information that you need to know to figure out what happened and find me. He does mention of the number 6 being relevant, 0.6 miles, 6 miles, somewhere in between that radius. So I'll show you, let me show you my paper. This is all of the things that I have received in this reading. I hope that this is helpful or may shed more light and clarity onto this situation. Maybe it could raise more awareness, who knows. I do feel that he will be found. It's just a matter of time. And of course, if the family wants to reach out, or if anybody has any questions or anything that they feel that I can help with, reach out to me. I'm gonna go ahead and log off of this because it's kind of heavy stuff and don't know if I can handle it. I pray that he's found, and I know he will be. The family will be brought to justice, and the truth will come to light. With that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, and I hope you enjoy this video. Peace out.